Good morning, YouTube, and happy Friday. My name is Melanie, and this is the Career Upgrade channel where we talk about my leaving corporate, moving into entrepreneurship. I'm a former director of human resources in the community banking industry here in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, turned entrepreneur. I've started my own HR consulting firm. You can see my logo over my shoulder here, Trimark Management Group, LLC, where I do human resources consulting with a very heavy emphasis on career coaching, guidance, and professional development. So let's get into it. So my last video was about how do you know when it's time to quit your job? And I wanted to follow up to that video and tell you to wait, hold up, wait a minute. Don't you give your notice yet. Don't you quit that job, because there are a few things that you need to do before you actually give your notice, before you even write that letter. Just take a deep breath. Pause. I know you want to get up out of there, but you can't do it yet, okay? So the first thing you want to do, you've decided to go. Now, who's going to replace you? Who better to say who's going to replace you than you? So take a look around your department, your company, people you've interviewed or worked with in the past, your network of professional contacts. Who could take your place? You want to make a list of that because you're going to attach that to your letter of resignation and give that to your supervisor when you go to resign. But that's going to happen a little further down the line. So just start thinking about that. What you can also do, if you can't think of people to replace you, find a list of 3 really good, reputable recruiting agencies, their name, number, contact information, and you can attach that to the letter of resignation. So that's the first step. You're looking for your own replacement. The second step is to get rid of all of those old emails, clean out your drives, organize your area so that anybody can come and sit in your seat and figure out what's going on. So that project that you've been pushing down the line, try to get it done before you leave, or at least map out what needs to be done, so that your absence doesn't mean that business stops, so that you are not disruptive with your absence. You want to help them. You want to help your employer as much as you possibly can before you go. And they don't have to use the things that you put in place, but at least they'll have some idea of what you had going on your way out the door. The next thing that you want to do is update your resume. Now, you don't have to update your LinkedIn profile or any of those job board profiles, but at least update your resume, because you want to put down all of your achievements and things that you did with your current company, because you will forget some things. It's human nature. You will forget some of the amazing accomplishments that you've had. So update your resume, get them all on paper right now. The next thing that you're going to want to do is start getting your money in order. So you want to take a look at all of your finances, possibly talk to a financial advisor, or just start managing your money, because if you're going to be without work, you're going to need to know, how long can I go without working? And if you're going to another employer, their pay schedule might be different. They could have some weird payroll thing that's going to mess up your finances. So you want to make sure that your finances are in order before you walk out that door, before you give your notice. This is strategy. This is planning. This is good communication skills. This is not just impulsively leaving. You never want to do that when you're leaving a job. And then the next thing you want to do is draft your letter, and you always want to give your employer 2 to 4 weeks notice. I know 4 weeks seems like a lot for some of us, but it's really, really not, because you have to keep in mind that you are not leaving that employer. You got to change that mindset. You are moving forward towards what you really want to be doing. So if you keep that in the forefront, if I could talk, it would be better, in the forefront of your planning, because this is about you. This is not about them. No matter how much you can't stand them, no matter how much you want to get up out of there, you have to be tactful and professional on your way out the door. It's just the ethical thing to do. Look back at my first video and I talk about it even more, because it really is very, very important. So you have started cleaning up your area, you are identifying your replacement, you are looking at your money, you are updating your resume, you are drafting that letter with 2 to 4 weeks notice. Now that you have drafted your letter and you have made sure that it's maybe a paragraph long and that it is very professional, well written, and represents you well, now you set up a meeting with your supervisor. You don't just email them that letter of resignation and then sit back at your desk. You set up a meeting with them to present the letter, thank them for your time there, give them the letter along with your letter of recommendation for anybody that you think could replace you, or a list of recruiters. You want to help them out as much as you possibly can. And then the last thing that you do before you go is you prepare your colleagues for your absence. After you've given your boss your notice, they have the letter, they know when you're leaving in 2 to 4 weeks, longer if you can. Now you start letting your team know. I've given my notice. I am leaving on this day. Together, we're going to figure out everything that needs to be done before I go, because you don't want to leave them just hanging. Your big gap of an absence, you know that you were impactful for that company. So imagine what that looks like when you're not there. So that's it. Strategic planning, great communication. No matter how bad you want to get out there, get out of that company, leave that job, that role, that industry, move on to whatever it is that you want to do. You still want to do it strategically, not impulsively, not emotionally. Planning. Be strategic. Be smart about it. And if you want to know more about leaving your job or anything career related, reach out to me. I'm your girl. I gotcha. Have a great weekend, everybody, and I'll post something again next week. And like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, and I'm out. Have a good weekend.